We are about 10 years, give or take a year or two away from having rehab facilities for social media and technology. I feel like this is the elephant in the room in society. We're all addicted. We have people listening to us 24/7, yet no one is batting an eye or thinking about it. However, God forbid someone smoke a cigarette or, do drugs or, something like that, because that's outrageous and illegal. And I'm not saying that those things should be legal or that they're good, but what I am saying is that social media and technology is every bit as harmless as a significant number of illegal substances. But it just happens to be the substance that is accepted by society. And from a business perspective, what better business model could you have than being able to sell dope, essentially? Because what you're doing is you're firing off dopamine in people's brains and they can't put the phone down and they're addicted and they come back for more and it's still not enough. It's like eating processed foods. It's probably the best business model since selling processed foods. I notice it in myself, I'm currently building an app to try to help fight technology addiction. However, I'm still addicted to technology and you probably are too. We all are. And it's not going to get any better. Artificial intelligence is coming. And if you think social media was addicting, wait till you see how addicting these chatbots are and these personal AI companions are going to be. I mean, it's going to be on a whole nother level of sucking you in. But the point is that we have a crisis on our hands as a society. I can't change society. You can't change society. None of us are going to stop the momentum of technology in the world in the direction that it's going today. But what I can do and what you can do is to build awareness within ourselves about our habits and our screen time usage. As a matter of fact, pause this video, look at your screen time. What was it today? What was it yesterday? What was your average the last week? It's probably a horrendously high number that if you extrapolate it out over months and years, will end up costing you several years of your life literally looking at your device. That is terrifying. Yet, it's the reality for, I would say, probably 95% of human beings today, anyone that has access to a cell phone. Now, of course, quality of life has improved a lot since this technology, but at the same time, if you look at the direct one-to-one correlation between technological advancement on a chart and on a graph, and you layer that on top of a chart with suicides, depression, and anxiety, especially amongst the younger generation, it is almost a one-to-one correlation of going up and to the right. Meaning it's getting more and more intense hand in hand. So as technology addiction increases and as social media addiction increases, depression increases, suicide rates go up, anxiety increases. It is a horrible thing for our world. And we have got to start shining a flashlight on this. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. So the first thing that we can do is make videos like this. Let's talk about it. There's a huge problem in the world today. The Social Network just kind of came and went. It was a great documentary on Netflix. I loved it, but people talked about it for a couple weeks and then it just went out the door. At what point, what is it going to take for us to say, hey, this is horrible. We are frying our brains. And it probably took, 40 years for processed foods to really come mainstream and start getting attacked by everyone left and right. The difference with processed foods is that you can see someone's physical appearance and you can look at them and you can tell, oh, wait a minute, this person is obese or this person looks sick because they're shoving processed food into their body. What you can't see is a brain scan of someone's brain. What you can't see is a brain scan of someone's attention that has basically been shrunk to the size of a peanut. What you can't see is the emotional toll that someone's taking by always seeing a life that's better than theirs, always seeing a person that's more attractive than their partner, always seeing a person that's more successful than them, so on and so on and so on and so on. And you say, well, Sam, I can connect with my grandma on Instagram and I love Facebook to keep up with old friends. Yeah, that's great. That's fine. Actually, as a matter of fact, when social media was more friend-based, it was still addicting, but not even near the level that it is now. Because now it is interest-based, meaning these platforms are tracking all of your conversations in person. Actually, let me take a step back. Kamala Harris was just on an interview, I think it was Stephen Colbert, and she was talking about how she only wears wired headphones. And you know how she talks. I mean, I'm not going to make a personal statement about Kamala Harris, but she was laughing and giggling, and she was just saying, if you wear the earpods, the Bluetooth ones, other people can hear you, and just kind of laughed it off. And I just kind of sat back in my chair and like, wow. She's basically saying, if you're wearing Bluetooth headphones, anyone can listen to you. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a cellular device, anyone can listen to you. And we should know this by now. Edward Snowden brought this to light in 2014 when he came out against the NSA and had to flee Russia. And, it was a big ordeal. Okay, so not only are these devices and this technology making us addicted, basically wrapping us up in a chain and keeping us. I'm gonna explain why that's even worse than the fact that it's taking your time in a second. But not only is that happening, but you're also basically opening the door to your personal life for the government, for anyone that wants to hack your devices and wants to learn more about you for erroneous purposes. But how about the fact that the masters of the algorithm are ultimately the ones pulling the strings on society? Hey, we want this person to be popular. Hey, we want this person to be elected. They are the ones pulling the strings on the algorithm, and he who controls the algorithm controls the world. That's a scary thought because, yes, we had like 4 news organizations for the last 100 years, and those 4 news organizations were in cohorts with, the White House and whoever else, and sure, it was biased, and we didn't get the full story, and yes, social media allows independent journalism, which is great. However, there's people that are pulling the strings with these algorithms and deciding who sees what, tuning it just a bit, so that maybe you do think that person is a radical racist, or maybe you do think that person is too woke. Before you know it, not only are you not thinking for yourself, society is being programmed at large. Think about how crazy that is. Society can literally be programmed with a couple lines of code. It's almost funny. It's so terrifying that it is funny. Okay, so extrapolate this out further. Social media becomes more invasive, becomes more addicting, which is hard to believe, but it's coming, believe me. People treat artificial intelligence like it's an all-knowing God, like it has all the information. In a way it does, but it's not always correct. And the more they trust artificial intelligence, the people that are programming it behind the scenes are the ones, once again, controlling society. So yes, for the 2010s and some of the 2020s, the social media executives, if you will, owners at large, were the ones really dictating a large part of society. Well, AI is about to be that times about 100. And social media is going to get better because of AI. And when I say better, I mean more addicting, more engaging, more obsessive. And so we're at a crossroads. We truly are, because it's impossible to know what's real and what's not. You go on X, and I think I saw something like 60% of users on X are bots, and they're all arguing back and forth, and they have good points, and you're siding with one point. You're basically just reading a bunch of bots back and forth. It's like dead internet theory, basically at its peak. That internet theory is just essentially that the internet continues to evolve to the point that there's enough bots and artificial intelligence that all of the conversations being had are not even really with real people. So, okay, what's the solution to that? Well, let's ID everyone that uses social media. But then you step into an authoritarian kind of Orwellian world that 1984 predicted. And sure enough, it seems to be that's the only solution. Or is it? I don't know. I don't have the answers. But what I do know is that we have a huge problem on our hands, because the discourse in society, who's popular, what's talked about, what's outraging people, it's all being pulled by a couple people behind the scenes. And these people are arguably every bit as powerful as the president of the United States, because they are the ones controlling culture. And so I get what Terrence McKenna meant 20, 30, 40 years ago when he said, you need to get away from culture, unplug from culture, think for yourself. So I don't have a solution for how to fix this in this video, but what I do know is that the more time you can spend in silence, without input, meditating, journaling, writing, reading, not being programmed. Every time you go on a social media app, you are programming, getting programmed. And you might say, that's crazy. I'm a free thinker. I can think for myself. But at the end of the day, you are what you eat. And whether you like it or not, you are what you consume. And so if you're consuming stuff that is going to make you angry, anxious, depressed, mad, happy, sad, you are being programmed by someone else's algorithm, aka someone else. And when this happens, besides one person, it happens to billions of people. You have a society at large that is essentially stuck, and that is essentially going to believe whatever AI tells them, believe whatever Instagram tells them, and we no longer have a free society. So my prediction is that we will have rehab facilities for social media. My prediction is that social media, oh wait, this isn't a prediction, it's already happened, will be weaponized against people. Oh, and by the way, if you send a DM that the government doesn't like, it's not gonna be good for you. So this is not good, and that's why I'm building Mindless. It's a tool that basically uses AI to fight basically manipulation from the social media platforms, from the artificial intelligence platforms. But nonetheless, this is about you. What are you going to do to free yourself? What are you going to do to stand out and to fight back and to push back against this tyranny? It is a huge issue. It's something I feel very strongly about, and I wish more people were speaking about it. So it's 2025 right now. By 2030, things are going to get weird. By 2035, people are going to be in a full-blown crisis because they're so addicted to their devices that they cannot escape. Don't let that be you.